Are you ready for a wild ride? Netflix's documentary series Wild Wild Country tells the spine-chilling story of a forgotten cult in rural Oregon. This is not your typical spiritual journey, as it chronicles the shocking true events of a Rolls-Royce driving Indian guru and his followers who moved to Central Oregon in the 1980s to create a utopian city. But what started as a search for enlightenment quickly turned into a nightmare of voter fraud, bombings, orgies, and attempted assassinations, culminating in the largest bioterror attack on U.S. soil. This is one of the most gripping and disturbing stories you'll ever hear. But be warned, it's not for the faint-hearted, so buckle up and get ready to be shocked. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our videos. Let's dive into the madness that is Wild Wild Country. In 1981, Bhagwan Shree Rajneesh arrived in America as the leader of a religious group he founded in India. Rajneesh, a former journalist and philosopher professor, had gained popularity through his teachings and writings that were distributed via books, cassettes, and videos. The group purchased a massive ranch in Oregon, previously used as a movie set, which became home to thousands of his followers, including many from well-to-do families in America and Europe. The sprawling space of 100 square miles in Oregon's Jefferson and Wasco counties would soon become home to thousands of Rajneesh's sannyasins or followers and witness some of the most bizarre and terrifying events in modern American history. The Bhagwan's teachings were a strange mix of Eastern and Western traditions that included mysticism, sexual liberation, dismantling the concept of family, and encounter therapy. His devoted followers, known as Rajneeshis, dressed only in vibrant shades of red, orange, and purple. The Bhagwan himself made a grand entrance each day in one of his many luxurious Rolls-Royces, rumored to be between a few dozen and almost 100. Despite being largely silent, the Bhagwan had a close relationship with his deputy and secretary, Ma Anand Sheela. However, one member expressed a willingness to do anything for him, even if it meant killing someone. The Netflix documentary's most horrifying scene is a clip from a German film that shows what appears to be a violent orgy taking place inside a padded room at the Pune ashram, while Noah, a young child who was part of the cult, did not witness this. He did observe some strange behavior and intense emotions. People laughed uncontrollably as a way of expressing their feelings. And one night, thousands suddenly broke out in hysterical laughter, crying tears of joy. Noah was also aware of the rampant sexual activity. The sounds of people having sex all night long could be heard, resembling the mating calls of baboons and gibbons. The New York Times reported that Bhagwan Shree Rajneesh moved to the U.S. after disagreements with government officials in Pune, India over tax exemption. In Montclair, New Jersey, the group purchased a castle and used a storefront for one of their centers, which caused concern among the locals who feared their town would become the headquarters of a free sex cult. Rajneesh later relocated to the Oregon Ranch, where tensions rose between his followers and the locals, especially those in the nearby town of Antelope. The Rajneeshs initially appeared friendly, but they later pushed to create their own city, Rajneeshpuram, and eventually gained control of Antelope City Council, even renaming it after their leader, which caused an unsuccessful attempt by the locals to abolish Antelope. The group, however, managed to acquire a large amount of property in the small town, including the general store, and the ranch itself grew to include various buildings and amenities. The expansion was met with accusations of voter fraud and other unethical practices, which the group countered as religious persecution. The size of the community was reported to be as high as 5,000, with Rajneesh representatives claiming a much larger number of followers worldwide. The escalating conflict between the group and local authorities only added to the eerie atmosphere surrounding the commune. Amidst the ongoing clash between the Rajneeshs and the locals, more serious incidents arose. In 1983, a Portland hotel owned by the group was the target of a bombing by an Islamic extremist, causing significant damage. The following year, hundreds of people in the area surrounding the Rajneesh Ranch fell ill from salmonella infections, leading to an investigation that revealed a shocking truth. It turned out that followers of Rajneesh had deliberately contaminated salad bars in 10 restaurants in an attempt to affect the outcome of an upcoming election. The group's spokeswoman, Sheela, who had been the public face of the Rajneeshs for years, suddenly left the ranch in 1985 and was later found guilty of involvement in the mass poisoning and other charges. She was sentenced to serve around 2 years in prison. The Bhagwan's followers took their devotion to a dark and violent extreme in the 1990s, when 2 British Rajneeshs were found guilty of plotting to assassinate a U.S. Attorney General who had investigated the group. At that time, though the Rajneesh was already deceased in India, having been deported from the United States following his guilty plea to criminal charges. As per the federal prosecutors, His offense was orchestrating a string of bogus marriages between Indian nationals and his devotees to secure them residency status. After Rajneesh left the United States, the Oregon Commune collapsed and was deserted for years, finally being foreclosed. Rajneesh passed away in 1990 from heart disease at the age of 58 after returning to Pune. Prior to his passing, he had instructed his disciples to call him Osho. The gritty details, of course, are all available for viewing in Wild Wild Country. It's certainly a tale that needs to be seen and believed. That's all for today. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.